Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Naveen, and today we'll be looking at 500 most expected questions. And today we will be doing DILR. We'll be looking at two sets. Both of these sets have come previously in CAT exam. Okay. Before we begin, there is a pinned comment in the chat which will take you to the counseling form. So if you guys have any queries regarding products, exams, schedule, anything, you can get in touch with us. All you need to do is fill up that counseling form. Okay. So let's begin with our first set of the day. A high security research lab requires the researchers to set a passkey sequence on the scan of the 5 fingers of their left hands. So left hands, scan of the 5 fingers. When an employee first joins the lab, her fingers are scanned in an order of her choice. And then when she wants to re-enter the facility, she has to scan the 5 fingers in the same sequence. The lab authorities are considering some relaxations on the scan order requirements, since it is observed that some employees often get locked out because they forget the sequence. Okay, so there is certain sequence, as in if I want to scan thumb first, then the first finger, then the middle finger, then ring finger, then little finger, or maybe thumb, then middle finger, then first finger, right? So that sequence is, it has to be followed when you are trying to enter the office. The lab authorities are saying, okay, fine, there are going to be options, as in if you want to do this or the other one or the other one. So the order they are trying to, yeah, hi Mayur. The order is something that they are trying to find out, figure out ki kya chalna chahiye. Now, the first question says, the lab has decided to allow a variation in the sequence of scans of 5 fingers so that at most 2 scans out of the 5 finger scans are out of place. For example, it says at most 2 scans. For example, if the original sequence is thumb, T, index finger I, middle finger M, ring finger R, and the little finger L, then TLMRI is also allowed, but TMR, LI is not allowed. Reason being, M has also moved, R has also moved, and L has also moved. So there is a switch of 3 fingers scanning sequence that has changed. We need at most 2. So, how many different sequences of scans are allowed for any given person's original scan? So, किसी का original है, उसके according कितने scans possible है, right? चलो, let's say the original scan is our thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and then little finger. ये allowed है. Now the first is max 2 changes are allowed. So 0 change allowed will be this itself. ये अकेले ही हो जाएगा, right? TMIRL, this is 1. If only 1 change is allowed, it's not possible, because if I shift T to some place, assuming that T's का एक combination is allowed, as in shift is allowed, then the other will also shift, right? At least one more will also shift. So single movement not allowed. What about 2 letters or 2 scans are interchanged? So we can interchange T and I, we can interchange I and M, we can interchange M and R, we can interchange R and L, we can interchange T and M, we can interchange I and L, right? So can we say, since there are 5 letters, out of these 5 letters, if I pick any 2 letters and if I interchange, I'll get 1 new scan that is allowed. So 5C2 is nothing but 5 into 4 divided by 2. So this is going to be 20 by 2, which is 10. So we get 1 case here and we get 10 cases further. So that is going to give us a total of 11 possibilities. So the answer is going to be 11. 11 cases है. ये 10 cases कौन से हैं? Suppose अगर मेरे को पता करना है तो T का interchange करते हैं. So T and I get interchange, everything else is same. T and M get interchange, everything else is same. T and R will get interchange, everything else is same. T and L may get interchange, बाकी सब सेम है. अब T का interchange हो चुका. Now I and M will get interchange. I and R will interchange. I and L. अब M और R, M and L, and lastly R and L. तो आप देखोगे दो प्लेसेस केवल स्विच हुए, इंटरचेंज हुए. Everything else is same, right? So it says at most 2 scans are out of place. So we will have 4 plus 4 plus 2, that is 10 cases here, and one case will be the original scan, total 11. Okay, let's look at the next one. Yeah, hi Kishore. The lab has decided to allow variations of the original sequence so that the input of the scanned sequence of 5 fingers is allowed to vary from the original sequence by one place for any of the fingers. Thus, for example, if TIMRL is the original sequence, then ITRML is also allowed. ITRML. So T and I have interchanged, and MR also, it has also interchanged. But LIM RT is not allowed. So this is a scenario where L has moved more than one place. So how many different sequences are allowed for a given person's original scan, right? So we have suppose TIIMRL. ठीक है? तो अभी एक काम करेंगे. We will take the case where only one scan moves. Okay, one scan is going to move. So I can move I, right? So if I move I will have ITMRL. Right? So that input of the scanned sequence of 5 fingers is allowed to vary by one place for any of the fingers. So केवल एक I move करा. Next, if I move M, so it will become TMIRL. If I move R, this is going to be TIRML. If I move L, this is going to be TIMLR, right? Fine. If we want only 2 scans to move, so TI and MR, they both move. So TI moves and MR moves. ये हो सकता है. Next is TI and RL. So IT, M will live as will stay as such, RL will interchange, right? So ये दूसरा हो गया. Next is we can have IM and RL. So we can have TMI and LR, right? अब दो change हो रहे हैं. Now since there are only 5 letters, we can't have 3 pairs of interchanges happening. So we have 3 cases here, we have 4 cases here, and then we have one case which is the original one. So total we will find it to be 8. There are 8 different sequences that are allowed for given person's original scan. Okay? No answer from anyone? Next, the lab has now decided to require 6 scans in the passkey sequence where exactly one finger is scanned twice and the other fingers are scanned exactly once, which can be done in any order. For example, a possible sequence is TIM, TRL. So T is scanned twice. Suppose the lab allows a variation of the original sequence of 6 inputs where at most 2 scans are out of place. As long as the finger originally scanned twice is scanned twice and the other fingers are scanned once, how many different sequences of scans are allowed for any given person's original scan? So it says that the new scanning rule is that a particular finger has to be scanned twice and the other remaining 4 fingers, they have to be scanned once. So total 6 fingers scan हो गया, जिधर एक finger will be repeated. ये rule है. Now, the lab is allowing a variation of this particular rule now, right? Where at most 2 scans, there are 6 scans, right? At most 2 scans are out of place. Out of place मतलब उसका sequence जो है वो कहीं और जा रह सकता है. As long as the finger originally scanned twice is scanned twice. So जो भी finger, suppose thumb has to be scanned twice, it still has to be scanned twice. उसको single नहीं कर सकते. We can't make that out of place, right? So how many different sequences of scans are allowed? So let's take the example that they have provided us with. So we have got T, I, M, T, R, and L, right? Suppose this is the original. ठीक है? ये original. So it says 2 scans are out of place. See, if 2 scans are out of place, so this is so very obviously that if I goes to R, then R will also go to I. If I move I to the left of R, then not only M will have a different position or a different position in a different sequence, so will T, so will R and L. सबका change हो जाएगा, right? अगर मैंने I को last में suppose कर दिया, or if I move I to the frontmost, so what I'll have to do is, whenever interchange is supposed to happen, proper interchange होना चाहिए. There should not be like taking it out and placing somewhere. It should either be interchanged so that the sequence of the other fingers or the other scans, it should be untouched, right? नहीं तो उनका भी position change हो जाएगा. So the first is if I interchange I, Ti, then I interchange Im, then I interchange Mt, then I interchange Mr, then I interchange RL, right? फिर मेरे को मन करेगा T और M को interchange, T and R को interchange, M and L का interchange, and so on and so forth, right? So just like what we have solved previously, there are 3, 3, 6. There are 6 such letters. Out of these 6 such letters, if I pick 2 of them and if I interchange, I will be getting a new sequence that is allowed by the lab, right? जैसे suppose T और R interchange करा मैंने, ये वाला T और ये वाला R interchange करा, so I get RIMTTL. कितने letters का position change हुआ? 2 का. This T has gone here and this R has gone here, while the other letters I, M, T and L, वो अभी भी वहीं पर है जहां होना चाहिए. So only a pair gets interchanged, right? Now we can't change the position of the letters of more than 2 because it says at most 2 ही आपका आगे पीछे होना चाहिए, right? Okay. Now, do we have this when T and T will interchange? Will this result in something new or will it result in something which is known? See, if I remove when T and T interchange, it will give you the same sequence, but the original one is also allowed. No. So total, it will give us a total of 14, but then the last one will again get added. So eventually it will be 15 only. Change नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, the next one. The lab has now decided to require 6 scans in the pass key sequence where exactly one finger is scanned twice and the other fingers are scanned exactly once, which can be done in any order. Same rule as the previous one, right? Suppose the lab allows a variation of the original sequence so that input in the form of scanned sequence of 6 images is allowed to vary from the original sequence by one place for any of the fingers as long as the finger originally scanned twice is scanned twice and other fingers are scanned once. How many different sequences are allowed if the original scanned sequence? So the rule is same as the previous one. They have given us an original scan sequence और एक minute change है The minute change here being where at most 2 scans are out of place, right? Original sequence by 1 place for any of the fingers. इस केस में केवल एक ही फिंगर है जो कि आपका थोड़ा सा डिफर करना चाहिए, right? Okay. Now, when this is supposed to happen, केसेस बनाने पड़ेंगे. L R L T I M. Okay, this is one. The next one is if we interchange by one place for LR, RL, LT, TI and IM एक एक करके, ठीक है. Suppose LR को interchange करा, so I will have RL, L, TIM. Right? If I interchange the next two letters R and L, so I will have L, L, R, T, I, M. Next, if I interchange L and T, so I will get L, R, T, L, I, M. Next, if I interchange T and I will get L, R, L, I, T, M. 5 हो गए, 5 इधर लिखता हूँ. Next, if I interchange I and M, I'll get L, R, L, T, M and I. Right? So a total of 6 cases as of now. Next, I can interchange L and L. नहीं, LL नहीं. In pairs now. अगर हम pairs की बात करें, so अभी तो single कर लिया. Now there are 6 letters, right? अभी क्या करा हमने? We have interchanged only one pair of letters. Here there was none, 0, your original. Next, दो करने. What if I interchange LR and LT? दोनों. So I will get RL and I'll get TL, IM as such. What if I interchange LR and IM? LR and IM is going to give us RL, LT udhar hi, and IM will become MI. Next, what if I interchange LT and IM? So I will get LR, TL, MI. So these are the cases where we have interchanged 2. अभी और होंगे. What if I interchange RL and TI? So I will have LLR and ITM. Next, what if I interchange RL and IM? RL and IM. So this is another one. So get 2 interchanges, 2 position interchange. Next, what if I interchange RL का था ना? TI का, right? We have taken in pairs. Now let's take TI. TI was not in pair as of now, है ना? तो TI and LR. So I will get RLL. TI will become IT and M. So this is another one with 2 positions. और कोई RL and TI is already done. TI M उधर नहीं कर सकते. Okay, the next one is if I change, since there are 6 letters, pair-wise, first pair, second pair, third pair, continuous, right? Consecutive pairs. सबको interchange. So LR will become RL, LT will become TL, and IM will become MI. So this is when 3 pairs are interchanged. 4 हम नहीं कर सकते. So 5 plus 5 plus 3, a total of 13 such cases are possible, including the original one, because it says original scan है, उसके कितने different scans हो सकते हैं. right? Is there any two sequence that is exactly the same? LRLTIM, LRLTIM. No, sub-unique words, right? So 13 cases, 13. Okay, the next one. Yeah, good afternoon, Snehal. For the next one, I'll have to hide myself. Because the information given is huge. There are 21 employees working in a division, out of whom 10 are special skilled employees, SE, and the remaining are regular skilled employees, RE. During the next 5 months, the division has to complete 5 projects every month. Out of the 25 projects, 5 projects are challenging, and while the remaining ones are standard. तो ऐसे लेके चलते हैं. Month number 1, 5 project, इसमें से एक challenging. Second month, another 5 project, some challenging. Third month, another 5 projects, some challenging. Fourth month, फिर से कोई 5 project में कोई challenging. Fifth month में फिर से कोई 5 project होगा, जिसमें से कोई challenging होगा. So that's the reason they have said that 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, total 25 projects are there total, out of which 5 projects are challenging, while the remaining ones are standard. So the ones that I have not ticked, those are standard ones. Okay. Oh, it doesn't say, each of the challenging projects has to be completed in different ones. So obviously we have got one. Why मैं सोचा one क्यों per month लिख लिया मैंने, क्योंकि because it says in the next line itself. Now every month 5 teams work on one project each. So let's say T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. T1 to T5 are allotted the challenging project in the first, second, third, fourth and fifth month respectively. तो ये हमें already पता है कि first month में the challenging project will go to T1, second month में T2, third month T3, fourth month T4. Sorry. Fourth month T4 and the last month में T5. Five. Okay, so yes, sequence we already know which one is the challenging one. Okay. Next, the team assigned the challenging project has one more employee than the rest. There are 21 employees. And the other teams, there are 4 teams which will have the same number of employees, and the next team will have one more than the others. So this gives us that 5x plus 1 gives us 21, right? Total 21 है. So x gives us 4. So जैसे T1 के पास challenging है first month में, so the other 4 teams will have 4 employees each. T1 के पास 5 हो जाएगा. Next में इसके पास 5 हो जाएगा, बाकी 4 के पास 4 होगा. फिर उसके बाद 4 हो जाएगा, ये 5, ये दोनों 4 हो जाएंगे. फिर ये 4, 4, 4 हो जाएगा, ये 5 और ये 4 हो जाएगा. And then you will have 4, 4, 4 and then finally 5. Okay, so this is what they mean by T1 to T5 are allotted the challenging project in first, second, third, fourth month respectively, and the teams assigned the challenging project has one more employee than the rest. Than the rest means बाकी सबका भी obviously same है. That's when we can say than the rest. In the first one, T1 has one more SE than T2. T2 has one more SE than T3. T3 has one more SE than T4. So in every month for every particular team, we have got 2 types of employees. One is SE and another is RE. So month में भी SE RE चलेगा. Second month में भी SE RE चलेगा. So we will need a table where we are supposed to have 5 major or 5 primary columns. Out of each of the primary columns, there will be further division of 2 more columns, each column for SE and RE. There are supposed to be 5 rows, each row for each of the teams across 5 months. And between 2 successive months, the composition of the team changes are as follows. So, koi condition given. Now, it is also said that each standard project has a total of 100 credit points, while each challenging project has 200 credit points. The credit points are equally shared between the employees included in that team. सो अगर 4 लोग काम कर रहे हैं स्टैंडर्ड प्रोजेक्ट पे एक पर्टिकुलर टीम के और 100 क्रेडिट पॉइंट्स हैं, एंड सपोज दे गेट 100, सो ईच वन विल बी गेटिंग 25. और अगर यही चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट की बात करें विच हैज 200 क्रेडिट पॉइंट्स एंड सिंस 5 एम्प्लॉयज आर वर्किंग ऑन इट, सो suppose they get 200 credit points, so each one will get 40, 200 by 5. So we will need a table something like this. Okay, so in this I am going to denote which team has got a challenging. So team 1 को challenging मिला है पहले, next month में team 2 gets the challenging project, next में team 3 gets the challenging project, next में team 4 gets the challenging project, and 5th month में team 5 gets the challenging project. It is already mentioned here in the first point. Next, the team assigned the challenging project has one more employee. That means the total number of employees here, adding SE and RE in each of these pink blocks should be 5. ये 5 होने चाहिए. So that's what the second point tells us. Now, in the first month, T1 has one more SE than T2. T2 has one more SE than T3. T3 has one more SE than T4, and so on and so forth, right? So if we in the first one, T1 has one more SE than T2. T2 has one more SE than T3. T3 has one more SE than T4, and T4 has one more SE than T5. So can we say here very confidently that this is going to be 0, so that it becomes 1, it becomes 2, it becomes 3, it becomes 4. एक 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 बढ़ते चला जाएगा. Since we need T5 का total to be 4, so this will be 4. Since we need T4 का total should be 4, so this should be 3. Similarly 2, similarly 1. Now we need this to be 5, so this is going to be 1. Right? That's what the third statement says. Now the team allotted the challenging project gets 2 SE from the team which was allotted the challenging project in the previous month. So what it says is, the moment this challenging project from T1 to T2, from first month to second month has been moved, 2 SE from there moves to the next month. Okay. In exchange, 1 RE is shifted from the former team to the latter team. So ये 1 इधर चला जाएगा, लेकिन उसकी जगह 2 लेते आएंगे. Right? So we are going to have some shifting that is going to happen. So T1 की अगर बात करेंगे, so SE is 4. Okay. The team allotted the challenging project gets 2 SE. So 4 will come, 4 में इधर आ जाएगा. So this 3 is already there. 2 more will come in. This will become 5. This is 2. This is 1. This is 1 as of now. Okay. In exchange, 1 R is shifted from the former team. One RE is shifted. So that would mean this 1 becomes 0 और ये इधर जाके ये 2 हो जाएगा. After the above exchange, if T1 has any SE and T5 has any RE, then 1 SE is shifted from T1 to T5 and 1 RE is shifted from T5 to T1. So this interchange is going to happen. So since we have 2 and 2 here, तो एक 2 इधर चला जाएगा नीचे, and out of this 4, 1 will go here, so that this becomes 3. So this is this switch that is going to happen. Okay. Also, if T2 has any SE and T4 has any RE, yes, they do have, then one SE shifted from T2 to T4. So 5 will now become 4, and this 1 will become 2. And one RE shifted from T4 to T2. That means this 3 will become 2, and this 0 will become 1. So you have to be very careful with the process. So you'll get 1, 3, 4, 1, and then 2, 2, and 1, 3. There is no change that is going to happen for T3, so it will remain as such. Yes, ही रहेगा. ठीक है. So this is month 2 में ये हो गया. Month 3 को if you are going to follow, from 4-1 to next one, if we go, so we will get 2 SE from 4. So this 2 will become 4. And instead of 4, we will have 2. And one RE is shifted. So instead of this 2, we will have 1 और एक ऊपर चला जाएगा. So this is what we will have after point number 4. Right? Next. After the above exchange, if T1 has any SE, T1 has SE, it has 1. And T5 has any RE, it also has an RE. 3 है उसके पास. So one SE will shift here. So this will become 2 and this will become 0. And one RE is shifted from T5 to T1. So instead of this 3, we will have a 2. And instead of this 3, we will have a 4. Okay. Also, if T2 has any SE, it does have an SE, and T4 has any RE, it does have an RE, 2 है इसके पास. Then one SE is shifted. So instead of 2 and 2, now this 2 will become 3, and this 2 will become 1, क्योंकि एक उधर से आ गया. And this 2 will become 1, and this 2 move over to that 1, that 2 further, it will making it 3. So you'll get 0, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, and 2, 2. Okay. Same अब 4, 1 से अब next shift करना है. This is supposed to be 3, 1, right? But we'll repeat. 4th and 5th repetitive है. The team allotted the challenging project gets 2 SE. So 4 में से 2 आ जाएगा तो 2 बचेगा और 3 का 5 हो जाएगा. And one RE has to be shifted. So T4 has one RE, which is 1. तो वो उधर shift कर देगा, ये 2 कर देगा, इसको 0 कर देगा. Next, if T1 has any SE, it doesn't have any SE. So there will be no movement as such, right? Movement के लिए we would need first of all somebody to go there. मतलब उधर जगह चाहिए. So this part will not happen. If T2 has, so 0, 4 will remain 0, 4 and this 2, 2 will remain 2, 2. Right? इसमें कोई change नहीं आएगा. And if T2 has any SE, yes, T2 has an SE. And T4 has any RE, yes, it does have an RE. Then there is an interchange between SE and RE among them. तो इसमें तो और कुछ नहीं कर सकते, तो ये 1, 3 रहेगा. Right? So we'll have 0, 4 and 1, 3, and just 4, 1, 3, 1 will change to 2, 2 and 5, 0. We can't change anything else. Okay. 5th month पे आते हैं. 50 has to move here. So this 5 will become 3, this 2 will become 4, this 2 becomes 1, and this 0 becomes 1. So they interchange because of the 4th point. Now, as per the 5th point now, after the above exchange, if T1 has any SE, T1 doesn't have any SE. So अगर T1 के पास SE नहीं है, तो ये तो 0, 4 ही रह जाएगा. Next, if T2 has any SE, yes, T2 has an SE, and T4 has any RA, yes, it has an RA. So what will happen is this 1 will move here, so this will become 0 and this 3 becomes 4, and this 1 becomes 0. ये कम हो जाएगा और ये इसको बढ़ा देगा. And there is no change that is supposed to happen in T3. Right? So be very careful and always keep track of. वैसे मैं back of the mind I was always thinking that the blocks that are not colored with pink, their sum should be 4. This was going on at the back of my mind. Now, first question. The number of times in which the composition of team T2 and the number of times in which composition of team T4 remain unchanged in 2 successive months are. T2 का interchange कितनी बार रहा है? 1313 for 2 consecutive months, right? And T4 has never been same, right? It has been there for only 1 month. So should we say 20 or 10? It's about number of times, right? So if we look at T2 composition did not change once, and T4 का तो कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ. So it should be 10, right? Okay. Next, the number of SE in T1 and T5 for the projects in the 3rd month are. So we'll go to 3rd month, we'll look at SE, we'll look at T1 and T5. T1 and T5. 3rd month SE, it's 02. So 02 हो जाना चाहिए. Next, which of the following cannot be the total credit points earned by any employee from the projects? Well, for this we do not need any. So if we look at standard, every employee works for 4 standard and then it works for 1 challenging, right? And now each standard, the points that is going to be awarded to the person is going to be multiples of 100 by 4, which is 25. So it's either 0 or 25. And for challenging, it is 200 by 5, which is 40. So we are going to have all the combinations of 25x plus 40y. ये होगा total points, total credit points awarded. So instead of trying to find out कि क्या possible है नहीं है, let's look at the options. Is it a possibility to get 140? Yes. If x is 4 and y is 1, as in 4 standard and 1 challenging. Very much possible. It says cannot be, right? Okay, next is 150. So for 150, we will need it to be 40, 40, 40 नहीं हो सकता, 25, 25, 50, 50 plus 100 using 40 is not possible. So the only way this is possible is if we say 6 times standard. Now, एक बंदा maximum 5 project पे ही काम कर सकता है. In every month, a particular person, employee is going to work either in a standard project or a challenging project. It can't work in 6 projects, right? So in order to get 150, it's not possible. So 150 is not possible. 170 हो जाएगा. 170 is going to very much work out. 200 भी हो जाएगा. that person was working with only challenging projects, right? People are shifting. So the person who gets shifted every time into a challenging project, he will be earning 40 points every time. So 200 is also very much possible, right? So 150. Next, one of the employees named Anik scored 185 points. Which of the following cannot be true? Okay. So, cannot be true. Should we check it one by one? या ऐसे भी चलेगा. Anik worked only in teams T1, T2, T3 and T4. Chalo, we will have to look, we'll have to check via the options. Let's look at the first option. Can Anik get 185 points if he worked only in teams T1, T2, T3 and T4? So Anik, if he worked in team T1, so that is going to give him challenging project plus in a particular month. So suppose first month mein it is going to be 40 and then it's going to be 25 into 3. Right? Sorry, 25 into 4. But it says only 3 particular teams, T1, T2, T3 and T4. It's not in a particular month. We have got T1. In the first one, T5 is missing, T3, T1 and T2. T5, T3, T1 and T2. T5, T3, T1 and T2. So, is it a possibility that Anik worked only in project T1, T2, T3 and T4? It is possible. See, the first option is T1, T2, T3 and T4. Is it possible? So Anik, suppose he is this guy, one of the 4 SE guys, so that he is moved to the next project, which is a challenging one in T2. Then he's again moved to the next project, which is the challenging one in T3. He's again moved to the next project, which is challenging one in T4. So he can get a maximum of 200 points, right? So very much possible. The next is 3 is missing. So T1, T2, T4 and T5. So he's working in T1, then in T2, and then he doesn't work in T3. So he gets moved, but he's not working here, right? And then he moves to the next one and he moves to the next one. It is very much possible because he can score a maximum of 40 points in one T1, T2, T4 and T5 every time he is given a challenging project. The next one is T1 is missing. So we will have T2, T3, T4 and T5. So if it doesn't work in the first month, or let's say if he worked in the first project, in the first month, so he can get again 400, right? So he moves from T2 to T3 and then T4 and T5. So he's one of these SE guys again who gets moved. He was one of the existing 3 people. Out of these 3 people, one person was moved someplace else. तो एक बंदा जो T2 का original है, suppose that person is Anik. This is very much possible. Next one is T2 is he never worked in T2s, as in team 2. So T1, T3, T4 and T5 is the last option. So he works in T1. Okay. So if he works in team 1, then he moves to team 2. But it says he doesn't work in team 2. That would mean that he was working as an RE. Or maybe in one of the standard projects, not the challenging one. So if he was working in T1 and not in T2, this implies that he was not one of the SE employee in the challenging. क्योंकि अगर आपको याद होगा ना कि 4 में से 2 लोग शिफ्ट कर जाते हैं, फिर एक बंदा इधर से वापस चला जाता है. So if he is one of those 2 people, he is supposed to shift. ठीक है. तो अगर वो रिमेनिंग 2 people में से है, so 4 if I break down that's 2 and 2, out of which these 2 people moves to the next T2, तो ये वाले जो 2 लोग हैं ये इसी में रह जाएंगे. And then he is going to be one of those people who will be earning, who will be getting a credit of 25 points. So 25 into 4, or 25 into any of the teams that he goes to, plus 40 will never add up to 185, right? So this is a scenario where it's not possible. So either he has to work in T2, sorry, if he has to, he has to work in team 2 in second month, or he's not going to be able to earn 185 points. So because of such high 185 point, it means that he does work in 4 challenging, that is 40 into 4, which is 160, and 1 standard, which is 25 into 1, which is 25. So 185 tabhi hoga. So when he does this, T2 is a miss. So 4 challenging is not possible because he won't be the guy who gets shifted down one by one. So D becomes your answer. So to quite some extent, a little tricky one, this particular question. Yeah. Hi, Shambha. Ji. Okay. So you guys can enroll in our online classroom program for MHCET. Okay. The link is given in the description. On 3rd of March, there is going to be an interactive workshop, MBA Why, How and When by Mr. Srinivas. Make sure that you register for this. The timing is 11 a.m. Okay. On 6th of March at 7 p.m., Mr. Sarel is going to take CAT 2024 Quant Strategy. Okay. Please do note down the time. Register for that. You can also avail up to 90% scholarship on CAT preparation programs. The scholarship test date is 10th of March at 11 a.m. Register for this. CAT 2024, how to manage job preparation with job and or studies. This workshop will be taken by Mr. Srinivas on 17th of March at 11 a.m. Register for this. Okay. CAT 2024 VARC, the game changer. People who struggle with VARC topic. On 21st of March at 7 p.m. Mr. Vikrant is going to be taking, is going to take this particular session. इसके लिए भी register कर लो. Excuse me. Next scholarship test is on 24th of March at 11 a.m. So make sure that you register for that. On 31st of March, CAT 2024 roadmap to 99 percentile will be taken by Mr. Srinivas. इसके लिए भी रजिस्टर कर लो. सो मैंने पूरे मंथ का आपको स्केड्यूल दे दिया कौन कौन से सेशंस होने वाले हैं. Starting from 1st of March at 7 p.m. last lap to MHCET MB 2024 is going to happen. Okay. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and press that bell icon so that you are notified. And MHCT specialized course is currently running on, where we provide with hundreds of live as well as recorded sessions, 12 mocks, thousands of practice questions. Okay. And you can try our CAT college predictor. All you have to do is put in your CAT details, and the system will churn out and tell you which college you are eligible for, what percentile do you need in order to get to that college based on your profile, based on your ACATs and work experience and everything. If you guys have any doubt, please make sure that you fill the form, the counseling form that is pinned in the comment chat. Do check out our social media handles and pages. Subscribe and like wherever applicable. And thank you, everyone. I'll come up with another session on LRDI or Quant for CAT 2024.